take it away.
Okay, so what are we talking about today?
Well, Revolution is this weekend, and there are a few surprises, and I wanted to make some bold predictions.
Okay, so what's the first one?
So, Paul White, the Big Show, has signed unexpectedly with AEW, and he has promised a Hall of Fame worthy signing, but it's not who you think.
So it's CM Punk.
No. Not who you think. That would suggest it's not CM Punk. It doesn't get more explicit than that. I've been racking my brain all day, and I've come up with a few names that I'd like to see, and I have seen some pretty wild suggestions online.
Who's the first one?
Well, the one that I've seen the most is one that I would like to see, but I also think it's very unlikely. I've seen Christian, or I guess he would be called Christian Cage in AEW.
Who's that?
That is Edge's former tag partner.
Oh, Blue Dot guy.
Blue Dot.
Okay.
Precisely.
Oh, yeah, okay. Why?
He, in the early to mid 2000s, had a great run in TNA, which was miles ahead of his WWE run. He, along with Edge, retired fairly early, relatively early, due to injury. And he's talked a lot about wanting to come back and do at least one more match. And I've heard him talk a lot about wanting to work Kenny Omega, specifically on the Edge and Christian podcast, in reference to Chris Jericho facing Kenny Omega. They talked a lot about watching Kenny Omega and talking about how lucky Jericho is for getting to work with him. So I could see why Christian would want to work in AEW, but I think he may be under contract with WWE, and I think he will be involved in the Edge and Roman storyline leading into WrestleMania.
So your first prediction is that they're not gonna be there? So who's your second? Wait. No, just who's your second prediction?
If I've seen RVD suggested a lot. He has recently worked in Impact Wrestling, where he's been having what's pretty clearly a midlife crisis.
What's he been doing?
He has been having this I would call it a weirdly misogynistic storyline, where he is just he's got his wife and her friends being very scantily clad, having pool parties, and just generally being pretty creepy for a guy his age.
So why this guy?
He's got a long history with Big Show. He clearly still wants to compete, even at his age. But I believe he's working on a documentary series with WWE right now, and I've even heard a book. I don't know. I can't confirm that, but I do know that he is announced as one of the people who are going to have a WWE Icons documentary made.
Okay. So who's your next person?
Somebody that I would really like to see, and if I was a betting man, somebody that I'd put my money on, is Carlito, or I guess in AEW he would be Carlos Colon Jr. It'd be weird calling him that, but
Whoa.
from Glow, and more notably, the 2021 Royal Rumble, where he just looked absolutely jacked, bigger than I've ever seen him. And he put on a great show. He worked a few Raws in the follow-up
But
to...
doesn't that mean he's signed with WWE?
See, that's where you're wrong. He was on a short-term deal. He worked, I believe, 3 Raws, and then he left. I believe it was a trial run, and they just didn't sign him. I don't know if that was up to WWE or if that was up to Carlito himself. But Carlito is in great shape, and he is not involved with WWE at all right now. So if I was a betting man, I would say Carlito.
Okay.
Another name that
That's 3 so far. So you've given us Christian, probably won't be there. RVD probably won't be there, and then Carlito might be there.
For Big Show's introduction, I think that it's fairly likely it could be Carlito. Of everybody I've listed so far, I believe Carlito is the most likely.
I think so far RVD sounds like the guy. Unless he's announcing for like.
That's a scary thought.
Well, okay. Okay, who's your 4th?
I've seen Scott Steiner suggested a lot. I can't make sense of why, but
that's the guy who's in charge of Impact, right?
No.
Who is it?
You're thinking of Scott D'Amore.
Oh, okay, yeah, the guy who asked the question at the last show.
Yeah.
Okay, who's Scott Steiner?
Scott Steiner is, they say all men are created equal, but you look at me and you look at Samoa Joe, and you can see that statement is not true.
Okay.
I can't imagine why it would be Scott Steiner, but I can't say I wouldn't enjoy it.
So he's not with WWE?
He's not with WWE. The last I've heard of Scott Steiner in a wrestling ring was about a year ago. He was working an Impact taping, and he had some kind of cardiac episode. Like, he fell ill, and I haven't heard any news about him since, which it could be good or it could be bad, but most importantly, it's not bad news. But that would be one of the reasons that I don't think it would be Scott Steiner.
Okay, so who's your 5th?
It's upsetting because this is a name that I've come to and I have not seen anywhere online. A personal pick of mine would be Paul London. I think if it's somebody that the Big Show is introducing, it's likely that they'll be involved with AEW Dark Elevation. And I can't imagine a better fit for that position. He could be a trainer, he could be a wrestler. Even in interviews, he's very funny and very charismatic. I think he could, at least as a guest commentator, be very successful. And when I was a kid, Paul London was one of my absolute favorite wrestlers. He was a little guy, but when I was a kid, the Cruiserweight division was on fire. He was unfortunately fired when Vince McMahon's limo blew up. And Vince was walking down the hall, and all of the wrestlers were in the hall. Paul London he had an ear-to-ear grin as Vince walked by to his untimely demise. And when Vince saw that Paul London was smiling, he fired him. But he...
Wait, what? His limo blew up? Like, shoot?
No, kayfabe. He.
Oh, and he was bearing the wrong expression for the gravity of the moment.
Yeah, and that was the episode that Paul London got fired for.
Okay, so those are your 5 picks. So most likely Carlito.
Yes, I would say most likely of the list that I provided, it would be Carlito.
Okay. You wanna know what I think? I think he's probably gonna announce, yes, something to do with Elevation, but I think he might announce like a co-host. So it's gonna be him, Shivani, and so I think he's gonna announce that.
There's a lot of announcers that could be Hall of Fame worthy.
I think Renee.
Renee Paquette.
Yeah.
That's a good shout. I would love to see her involved in AEW. I've heard Mauro Ranallo is also rumored to have some involvement with AEW going forward. I have no idea what that would be. The AEW Dark Elevation could be a good place for that. Another name that could potentially join the booth would be famous ECW commentator Joey Styles.
Okay. I don't know him.
Yeah, I don't think I've showed you anything with Joey Styles in it, but I would give anything to hear Joey Styles, oh my god, on AEW television.
So for the second surprise that's happening at Revolution, what is that?
Well, there is a Face of the Revolution ladder match for the number one contendership for the TNT title that is not being defended at Revolution because of the street fight with Darby Allin and Sting versus Team Taz, Ricky Starks and Brian Cage.
Okay.
Currently in the match, 5 of the 6 participants have been announced, with the 6th being revealed by Tony Khan on Sunday. Currently, we've got Penta El Zero.
What?
They changed his name because I think AAA owns the rights to Pentagon Jr.
Okay, well, Penta, whatever.
Penta El Zero M. Scorpio Sky. Cody. Lance Archer as of last week, and Max Caster as of this Wednesday night.
Okay.
The 6th is to be announced. Now, I don't know a whole lot of the details. I don't know if this person is signed or if this person is a surprise appearance. I've seen a lot of names thrown around for that. It's a lot easier to speculate about this one because it's not under the umbrella of Hall of Fame worthy.
Okay.
It's just hot free agents in the industry right now.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that it's for Darby's championship makes for a lot of interesting matchups.
So who's your number one?
My number one is Lio Rush. Lio Rush is currently the AAA Junior Heavyweight Champion and the MLW. I should have looked this up. I actually don't know which championship.
It's okay. Nobody knows. It's fine.
Nobody on earth knows.
I don't think it matters. But Lio Rush, that's a good pick because we're all wondering what happened. Why did he get released from WWE?
I know. He was Cruiserweight champion and then released on Black Wednesday.
But they've got Leon Ruff, so they don't need Lio Rush.
Just as good. But no, Lio Rush has been working for New Japan, Major League Wrestling, AAA, and he recently called out TJP in Impact, Darby Allin in AEW, and Hiromu Takahashi in New Japan. All of them are basically mid-card champions, and Lio Rush wants to take all of their titles. So Lio Rush absolutely has motive to challenge Darby. And the Face of the Revolution ladder match is a great way for him to do that, and it's a great match to put Lio Rush in.
Okay, so who's your number two?
Ethan Page, recently of Impact, one half of my, I guess, 4th favorite tag team right now. The North, God rest their souls.
One half, but wouldn't he be part of the tag?
You'd think, but Josh Alexander, I believe, recently renewed his contract with Impact, and Ethan Page actually let his expire.
Okay, but Impact has been working with AEW, so why wouldn't the North be part of the tag?
The fact that they let their contracts go in different directions tells me that they are probably going to let their careers go in different directions. And Ethan Page actually has a long history with Darby in Evolve. They had a lot of very brutal matches against one another. I believe Ethan Page broke Darby's arm, and he still finished the match, that crazy bastard.
So you only have 2 picks?
Yeah.
Okay. So your 2 picks for what was it again, the ladder match?
The Face of the Revolution ladder match.
The Face of the Revolution ladder match are, I already forgot.
Lio Rush and Ethan Page.
Lio Rush and Ethan Page. Okay. And then, so the third surprise. The third surprise is for the Tag Casino Battle Royal, right?
Yeah. Now there's a lot of fun directions that this can go. And in my opinion, a very bad direction this can go.
Is the bad direction Big Show and RVD?
No, actually, compared to the direction I think they might be headed, that would actually be an improvement.
So where do you think they're headed?
I think one of the best ways that they can take this is to have Guerrillas of Destiny, who I believe are in the States right now, show up and finally get something moving towards their feud between Bullet Club and the Elite.
Guerrillas of Destiny.
That is Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa.
Oh, from New Japan.
Yes.
Okay.
Now,
yeah, okay.
Guerrillas of Destiny are not the only team from New Japan that I could see showing up in the Casino Tag Team Battle Royal.
So
that's a lot of words.
Who else from New Japan could be there?
FinJuice is currently doing some work with Impact.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Juice Robinson and David Finlay. They are, I believe, 2020 World Tag League winners.
I don't know. Well, we can put a correction if that's not true. It doesn't matter.
It's either I believe 2019 was Evil and Sonata.
I have no idea, so I don't know.
Oh wow. I claim to be such a good New Japan fan.
So are those your 2 picks, or do you have anything else?
I think there's some really good Impact teams that it could be. Particularly the Good Brothers is probably the most likely because they have been showing up on AEW television.
So is that your bad pick? Like, because I remember you said. So you said you think the direction they're going to go is not the direction you want them to go. So what's the direction you think they're gonna go?
Unfortunately, I've seen a lot of people talking about how it could be Enzo and Cass.
Who are those people, and why would that be bad?
Enzo can't wrestle, and Cass also is an imposing big man, but also cannot wrestle.
But who are they? I don't know them.
They were on WWE a few years ago.
Okay.
Over like Rover in NXT. Moved to the main roster, and then they it showed that they weren't very good wrestlers.
Okay.
Enzo's a crazy looking little chicken man.
So why do people think it's gonna be them?
Because Cass came back after taking a leave of absence and looked in great physical condition at an Impact promoted show by the Good Brothers' own Luke Gallows. And having them together for the first time in, I believe, over a year has fueled a lot of speculation that they'll be making a transition to another television product after leaving WWE. And of course, AEW is the place that everybody thinks they're going.
Okay, that's fair. I think I don't know them, but that sounds fair.
If I could have it be anybody, I would pick Impact's own Motor City Machine Guns. Chris Sabin has been wrestling on Impact right now, and Alex Shelley, I believe, is nursing an injury, so I don't know how likely that is. I've heard rumors that he'll be back at the next set of TV tapings.
Okay, so just a recap. So the 3 surprises.
Our Big Show announced a Hall of Fame worthy multi-year signee that is not who you think. The Face of the Revolution ladder match, where the winner faces Darby Allin for his TNT title, and the Joker in the Casino Tag Team Battle Royal. My pick for Big Show's announcement, Big Show signee, is Carlito. My pick for the Face of the Revolution ladder match is Lio Rush, and my pick for the Casino Battle Royal is Motor City Machine Guns.
Okay, so I guess my pick for the Big Show thing is Renee
Paquette.
Yeah. My pick for the Battle Royal, no, not the Battle Royal. What's the second one? The ladder match is Okada, I guess.
Okada.
Yeah, sure, why not? Like, why not? No, wait, because he's in Japan.
He's in Japan.
I don't know then. I don't know. I don't know. Okada. And then my pick for the Casino Battle Royal tag team, I truly don't know. I guess Finjuice?
Finjuice would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and then they're here, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's Okada, I get $100.
All right.
Okay. Okay, I guess let us know what you think though, because
yeah, of course.
I don't know. So.
I would love to hear anybody's picks.